Okay, y'all, excuse me for the nose thing. My nose is clear because I didn't have the heater on and the temperature had dropped while I was asleep. But okay, and the video was kind of long and I was trying to get it done so I could blow my nose and it started to drip. So, but anyway, there was a vision that I had, and these visions are very strong attacks. And I was in the bed and I had seen visions of all these different men in prison having sex with Austin. And so, some people say, oh, you're just afraid and you're just paranoid. And a man wrote me a letter and he said that his name was, I'm not going to say his name, but no, I'm going to say his name. He said his name was Rico. And he was telling me that there was some racist white men that were like slapping Austin on the butt, and that he was hanging out with racist white people, and he seen me come up there with my baby to visit Austin while he was in prison. And he was saying to me, he was like, yeah, I just wanted to tell you what's going on. He's hanging out with these racist white gangs and they was kind of violating him. Like, he didn't say they were having sex, but he said they were hitting him on the butt, like being gay, and they had him down on the bed, or they had him down and they were smacking him on the butt, and that it was enough for him to go to the guys and be like, hey, stop doing that. And that he felt like they were bullying Austin to an extent, and so he was saying that he tried to protect them. And maybe, there were black men trying to take advantage too, because I saw visions of black men trying to take advantage of him as well. And then the guy said that he tried to take up for him and he got them to let him go. And then he was right back the next day with the racist white gangs, and that he was saying I just kind of left them alone after that, because if I got them to leave you alone the first time and you went back over there, then that means you must have liked whatever it was they were doing to you, or what you must like. He basically said you must like hanging out with them. He didn't want nobody taking up for him or whatever. That's what he wanted. And so then he wrote me the letter and he was trying to get with me. So I didn't trust anything he was saying, because I'm like, you got these dudes right in my house with my address. And I felt so violated that this man even had my address. Like, how the hell are you allowing people to get my information to my home with my baby, talking about they finna get out of prison and they like me? And I felt sold out. I felt like Austin had sold me out, because you got prisoners right in my house. And you were supposed to be the only one writing me letters. And he was writing me letters talking about he's sorry, let him come home. And I told him about what the guy said. And I questioned him several times. And he was saying this wasn't true, but he did tell me that he had slept with a man before. And then I had a vision. I was in the bed. I was in the bed and I had a vision that Austin had ran to my baby's crib to attack my baby, and I jumped on him and drug him down. And then I had a vision that I was in the tub with Melbourne and he was still close to the newborn age, because I used to bathe Melbourne in the tub with me before Austin went to prison. And in this vision, I had Melbourne in my hands, like how I would bathe him, and he was around the newborn age. And then I saw Austin come into the bathroom, and he took Melbourne, and then out of, like, he was in my arms, and he took his hand, and he pushed Melbourne's body down in the tub in the water, and then with all of his might he tried to keep Melbourne's body underwater, and he was a newborn, and his hand was like struggling hard to keep him under there, and I could not stop him. I tried to get his arm to let Melbourne go, and I could not. And I screamed, Jesus! Like, I screamed, like, it was not like that was worse. It was like a screeching, horrible sound because he was trying to kill my baby. And I felt him. I felt his body, like I felt his arm and the strength in his arm trying to keep him, little newborn Melbourne, underwater. And I just screamed. And I was like, maybe that was Satan. But then, like, the reason why I mention it now is because he was attacking me and Melbourne when I shot him. And he was being violent with us the entire time when he was released from prison. And he was knocking Melbourne on his head and pushing him off of furniture. And when I was in the jail cell called the Shitter, and they were trying to make me be a mental patient, trying to say that I was mental, there was a vision that, and the Holy Spirit was like, y'all better get that baby body out that hot water. And there was some emphasis on Austin in the tub with Melbourne, and then something happening to Melbourne, and then something about me being pregnant again, and something about them wanting to kill the baby that I was pregnant with. There were witches coming and saying that they were going to kill the rat in my belly. That's what they were saying, and that they were going to kill it, and that they had put a hit out on me, that Cynthia had came to me in the cell in the spirit and was saying that she had put a hit on me in the jail, and people were poisoning me and trying to fight me and lying about my pregnancy. And I told her that I wouldn't have any contact with her after I was released. And I asked the Holy Spirit what to do, and because I was calling her to talk to Melbourne. And she was saying that she wanted to know the address to where I was. Could I please send it to her, please? And I didn't do it. And then I prayed and I asked God what to do, because everybody was trying to make it seem like, you need to get a job. You need to give me money. I need money for rent. I need this. I need that. So I didn't have any money to give them, and they were having me out on the streets. And then I prayed to God what to do, because everybody is saying that I need to put emphasis on giving them money and having a job. And I was looking for a job, and they weren't even letting me stay nowhere long enough to even get a job. And then he was like, I'm going to let Cynthia know, but let her know that you're not going to have no contact with her, because she was wrong for trying to keep you from your son. And he was like, and I'm going to let her know, and let her know that you're going to press charges on Austin. And she over there parading your baby around. But I got something for that. He said, I got something for her. And then he was like, she going to try to get you first, but someone going to help you. And so that's what this whole thing has been, as far as me being out on the streets and people trying to starve me and taking me in their house and trying to make me out to be a mental patient, and people being paid off, and the lawyers refusing to represent me, saying they only represent criminals. No lawyer in the state of Texas willing to represent me. All of this is their attempt to try to get me first, because Austin is going to jail. He has tried to harm me and my son several times, and I'm pregnant. And the Lord said the reason why I've been bleeding throughout this pregnancy is because he was raping me and hitting me. Well, because he was hitting me, but the Lord said the specific part about why I've been bleeding is because he's been raping me. So they've been trying to get me to abuse myself, so they can try to make that out to be the reason why I've actually been bleeding this pregnancy. But God said it was because he was raping me. So I know there was emphasis on people wanting to make it seem like Austin has never raped me before and that I always wanted it. There were times that I did want it because we were in love, but there was enough times for God to put emphasis on the fact that I have been raped by Austin. And I have been raped by Austin. And it made me bleed. And I didn't realize the severity of what he was doing because I was, used to him doing it to me, that I didn't understand what it did to my body. And God was saying that it did do something to my body. And I remember it wasn't comfortable and I didn't really like it. I didn't enjoy it and it hurt. So, I don't know who taught him to do that to me, but he did it and it hurt and it is what it is. And no, it's not going to be, oh, she ain't forgave. No, it's not that. It's just that he needs to go. He needs to go to jail. He was attacking me like a wild animal several times. And I'm tired of having to explain. And I just pray, Father God, that you just expose the spiritual wickedness and protect Melbourne. Please don't let any so-called accidents happen to Melbourne, because there is no such thing as an accident happen to Melbourne. And there was something about, with the dream that I had about LaMarcus Sanders when they were after me, because I'm going to tell you something. I never stole $5,000 from LaMarcus Sanders, but when I met him, he was putting money. He was telling me to hold his money for him in my purse and stuff. And I was holding it. And then he was doing stuff like evil stuff. And it made me want to run away, and I didn't have anybody. And this was before I knew that the gangs were involved and that the Illuminati was involved and that it was about my son and my baby that I'm pregnant with. I didn't know. I wanted to run away, and I was telling him my name was another name. So then the spirit in the dream told me that he already knew my name was Andrea Jones. And I was like, well, how did he know? Because I hadn't told him my name yet. And so then all of a sudden, in the dream, I had ran off with the money and they all came after me. But see, I was tempted to run off with the money, because who lets you just hold on to $5,000? And then he kept leaving me with the money. And I was tempted to run off with the money, but I was like, nah, because I know people trying to set me up. I could just feel it. And I was like, I'm not going to run off with this money, because then they're going to come after me saying that I stole his money. And they're going to be saying that they were setting me up by even having me around the $5,000. Because he kept leaving the $5,000 in the house on the table. He put it in the top of the closet. He had the nerve to tell me to hold it for him. Like they were trying to get me to run off with this money so they could call the police and say that I stole $5,000 from him. But I never ran off with the money. I spent it while I was with him. I got him to buy me clothes and food and whatever I wanted. And he was all up my ass. And he was enjoying it. And it wasn't prostitution because we were engaged. And then when I finally figured out, I knew something was wrong, because he kept trying to cheat and everything. And that's what made me okay, well, buy me this and buy me that and make up for it. Then when I realized that he was involved with these people, I didn't want nothing else to do with him, and I stopped having sex with him. So it was not prostitution. It was spiritual. If you do right by me, I'll have sex with you. And I wouldn't, I wouldn't. I haven't had sex since. And it's very sad that I can't be active, because too many people are trying to set me up and then try to call me a mental patient. So had I ran off with the money, there would have been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of gang members who would have came after me, because when I left him, they came after me, and I didn't have the money when I left. I decided, God said, thou shalt not steal, and I knew what they were doing was wrong, but I stayed anyway. and he ended up buying me lots of gifts, and I started my business, and I was trying to get my case together for my son, and we so-called got engaged. So you might see me wearing a ring on certain things, and it was very sad when I realized that he was not genuine, because all of the men who I've been involved with were involved and they were not genuine. And Austin was not genuine. He had his motives. He was trying to steal my car and my son when he got out of prison, saying that he loved me. And this is why I'm in love with Jesus Christ, because his love is real and it is genuine, and it is far better than any man on the earth. So I'm okay with that because it's genuine. But they came after me when I left him, when I realized that he was trying to provoke me in the home and stage altercations with me and other women. And he was trying to make me feel like I was a bad mother. He was trying to stop me from putting evidence out about my son in my case. He was trying to pay me out to be a prostitute and a drug addict. And I knew that he was involved. I knew that his family was involved. And there are so many Americans who are involved that they could all try to say, oh, she's crazy. We don't even know her. We don't know her son. And this is the plot. This is the plot. And Lord, I just pray that you expose this, Father God. And they were gang members. They admitted that they were in gangs, and they all kept trying to do the same thing, trying to fight, trying to stage altercations, just being very wicked. And then the end result was, oh, we want to say she's a mental patient. And I believe that's what exposes it the most, is that they all wanted to try to say, oh, she's crazy. And Lily Morris was letting me know, like, in subliminally, they want to have you out here like a crackhead singing on the side of the street because you're talented, and calling you cuckoo bird. And she was letting me know subliminally, but she was still going along with the plot. And then Charles Cross let me know subliminally, because he was like, sometimes you gotta fool the fool that think he fooling you. And that's what really opened my eyes, like, what the hell is going on with LaMarcus. And then LaMarcus supposedly gets arrested, and he says he's had a pistol charge. He's had all these different charges, but you've only done 2 years in prison. And then he got caught with some sherm, supposedly while I was there. But this was while he and his brother were gone, and they both got arrested. And he says his phone got taken for investigation, and he had been taking pictures of me in the home and out to dinner, trying to sneak and take the pictures, and I caught him. And then he was kind of letting it be known that he knows what's going on, but he was doing it subliminally. Like, he couldn't just come out and tell me. And then there were gang members, there were people swarming around the house, and there was a gunman outside of Lily's home. And I went outside, everybody had left me in the house, and a black man from across the street pulled out a gun. He walked past me and he pulled out a gun. And then he went and hid behind the bushes at this Hispanic man's house across the street. And I went and got my Bible, because I was like, I'm not finna be in there with him out there with the gun. And I came out with the Bible, and I just watched him. And then Bianca and her friend pulled up, and they were about to go to some celebration, some party. And I said, Bianca, do you know anything about the man outside with the gun? And she was like, oh, well, we need to call the police. I didn't know anything about the man with the gun. And they never called the police, but they left. And the man with the gun went back to his house. And then he tried to pretend as if he were behaving normally. And they were speeding past me and intimidating me all around Lily Morris's home. And if I tried to go anywhere out of the house, like walk to the store or anything, they were hovered up at the convenience stores, and they were trying to talk to me, harassing me, speeding past me, trying to act like they were going to run me over in the streets. And they were ganging up, and it was crazy. And I was filming a lot of it, and they were stopping my camera on my phone. And, LaMarcus was acting like he didn't know all of this was going on. And he was bringing me drinks that tasted funny, and food that tasted funny, and candy that had been opened and resealed. And then I started noticing when he would cook me the breakfast, I would get headache. And then I started cooking for myself, and I wasn't getting a headache, and my baby was moving, and it was crazy. And then I started showing my belly on the camera. I had put the camera on and went outside and started showing my stomach. And when he had taken my phone and was going through my phone while I was asleep, and I snatched it out of his hand and said, "Don't you do that." And then I was showing my belly, and then I was asking him to get me food from different places, and because I knew that certain stuff was tampered with, and they were bringing me to the same restaurants and they were tampered with, and he would give me a cigarette that was laced. And then it was just horrible. It was horrible. Then something was happening to the air conditioning. And then they were turning the air conditioning down to 60 degrees. And they were trying to make it to where I could not leave the room when LaMarcus was in there trying to provoke me and fight. Like, I would try to go in the living room, and then all of a sudden Bianca would come in the living room with her friend, and they would want to sleep in the living room, all of a sudden forcing me to be in the bedroom with LaMarcus. Or Charles Cross would want to come sleep in the living room and force me to be in the bedroom with LaMarcus while he was trying to provoke me about my son and say evil things about my pregnancy. And when I started showing my pregnant belly and showing the baby moving in my belly, they conspired to have me put out on the streets. And he was trying to stage fight between me and Bianca and Lily Morris. And I have a video of that, and I'll try to leave a link of him trying to start an altercation, and he was leaving out and coming back with these little plots or whatever. And there were women involved in Kings Row, and they were also in gangs. And then everybody wanted to try to say I was crazy, and I just pray that Jesus Christ just really helps me and my children and gets us out of America. And this is why God was saying someone needs to help us get us out of America because of what they are trying to do. Is they are doing this. My people, black people, they doing it. They know they not doing. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And James Devon Harris was doing it in his mother's house, in Beverly Raoul's house. He tried to get someone to fight me, and he pulled out a gun. And Travis Gums pulled out a gun on me. And ain't no, I did nothing to make you pull out no gun on me. And that's what HPD is trying to make it seem like, oh, they had a reason to pull out a gun because I'm a mental patient. No, the hell, I'm not no mental patient. And y'all put them up to that crap. And they know they had the right to pull no goddamn gun out on me because I shot a gun in self-defense, and you knew you couldn't convict me, and you knew that Jesus Christ wouldn't let you murder me. And I'm pregnant. And they all being racist, and they being paid off. And ain't no goddamn I'm crazy because all of y'all did it. It's too many of them to lock up. So I'd rather just triumph, and I'd rather look upon them and triumph. I'd rather the Lord spare some of their lives so they could see me walk in victory because of what they did. And I had family involved, so-called lovers and friends. And then when I left LaMarcus, HPD did not want to allow me to leave LaMarcus. And they were trying to say, how long were you with him? Because I got the hell on and just started walking off, I got my stuff because he had left me in the car and had gang members swarming around me. He kept saying, oh, I got to go here. I got to go there. I got to go here and handle my business. And he was going to these different clinics. And then he went to one place and left me in the car for an hour all day long. And they was trying to make me go crazy so he could call the police on me and say that I was a mental patient. And I was like, I'm not finna keep being around nobody that's setting me up and I'll let y'all hear. Let y'all hear what was going on. At the end of this video, I'm gonna leave y'all a snippet of what was going on if I can find it. And he was doing this to me while I was with him, and then when I told him to he was threatening to drop me off in the middle of nowhere for telling y'all what was going on. And then at that point, I was like, but he wanted to drop me off in a drug-infested, police-infested, crack-infested neighborhood so they could prey on me easier there. And I was like, no, let me off right here. And it was in a nice community. And I got out and he called the police. But he tried to run up on me and hit me and attack me and fight me and threaten to pick me up and throw me in his truck if I didn't go with him. And I was like, no, because he was trying to set me up. He was trying to hurt us. And I wasn't for it and he was pretending behind, oh, I bought her this or I bought her that. But that's how they come in for the kill. They come in at first like they buying you stuff and helping you out after somebody who wants you dead, left you in a vulnerable position. And then once you so-called trust them and let your guard down, they'll come to attack you. And see, they all had tried to do it, so they had to get me out of the house. So that they could have me, because they was in there committing crimes against them children in the house, and they had to get me out of the house and try to hurry up and get rid of me. So all the gang members in the Illuminati was coming after me in LaMarcus's truck, and he was trying to act like he didn't know what was going on, but he was down with it. And I said, well, I got to get away from him because I'd be better off just out in the open, letting them all openly attack me, than sitting right up under somebody that's listening to everything I'm saying and then trying to get the evidence erased and, trying to plot on me right up under me. Like, I had to get this man, Lord forgive me, I had to get him the fuck away from me. I'm sorry, but that's how serious it was. He was fucking plotting on me right there in his truck, right there in his grandma driveway where we was sleeping at after he plotted to have me out of Lily Morris's house. I had to get LaMarcus the fuck away from me. He was fucking plotting on me in that truck, and he was having them gang members and the Illuminati and the police doing all that shit to me. And he had got a SHRM charge, and you'll hear him talking about, I feel better about my charges, I feel better about my situation. Well, fuck you, because you over here trying to get your charges dropped by sitting over there trying to have me killed, bitch. And that's what they all was doing. Trying to have a fake an arrest, knowing that the police only objective was to murder me in the facility. That's dead ass wrong. Then they got the people nerve. The people got the nerve to be trying to talk about, if you say my name again, I'll sue you for defamation. Get the fuck out of here. Because I could sue the whole goddamn state of Texas for defamation, because y'all went around saying that I was a mental patient and I wasn't. Y'all went around lying and saying that I shot Austin Matter for no damn reason. And look at y'all, got me having to cry out to the world behind what y'all did to me. That defamed me. But it really is bringing me higher in the realm of the heavenly kingdom, and they kept sending black men after black men after black man after I left LaMarcus Sanders. They was coming by the droves, and I was like rolling my eyes, if you don't gone, because I already knew what y'all doing. Like, you just trying to get up under me so you can keep trying to help these racist ass white people provoke me and have me arrested for something, because they want me in jail and they don't have a right to have me there. So they want to try to create some other reason or try to because they were trying to tell I was a mental patient in the jail and I was not. And then so when I got out, they've been trying to get people to try to do stuff to me so they could try to pay me out to be a mental patient. This is what a lot of these visions and dreams about, where people that had to come around me to observe me, and then the mental therapists have been trying to force them to say things about me that's not true, to try to say I'm a mental patient, and then they know that I'm pregnant, and that they're lying about that. But I'm not gonna get riled up about it, because I know Jesus Christ is in control, I just get a little upset when I think about how the black people have gotten away with it. And I just pray to God that they don't, because I know it's mostly about Austin, and that God wants to focus on the fact that the white man, my baby daddy, was abusing me, because they're doing this all for him, and that's wrong. But at the end of the day, and they're doing it for themselves, because they've been in trouble and they've been getting paid money, and they've been getting medical care and gift cards and cars and housing, all to do this to me, just because the state don't want to give me my benefits. They don't want to give me my rights. They don't want to admit that they did wrong by a black woman in this community and in this city that was so bad that there has to be repercussions. So they want to sit there and use my own people to try to do this to me. And I gotta forget my people, man. I gotta forget my father's house. I gotta forget my people, because this is so wicked. But God showed me that he was gonna bring me out successfully, and my people would see it, and I wouldn't, and it's okay. I'll let them glory with me only in the glory of God. But at the end of the day, I'm done. I'm tired of them, because black people will do anything. They will do anything. And this been Hispanic people, white people, people of all nations doing this. And I just pray that the Lord punishes them, because it's so many of them doing it that it's almost like no vindication will ever come for me. Because that's how many of them are involved. The Lord showed me when I was at James Harris' apartment in the Wilcox. We were supposed to have that apartment together, and he called me back to that apartment after he pulled the gun out on me and was arrested for aggravated assault for terroristic threat, and they charged him with aggravated assault after that. For pulling the gun out on me in his mom's apartment in Chisholm Trail in Greenspoint. And I showed the police the video of what happened, and they charged him with terroristic threat. Well, he supposedly got out on bond, and then he called me back to the Wilcox after they had took me to the strip club all pregnant, tried to force me to be a stripper. They had tried to force me to have sex with older black men. They had done so much stuff, and they were trying to starve me. And, it was just crazy, and try to provoke me and fight and be like, oh, I see why nobody don't want you in their house, why they was trying to rape me, and do all this stuff. And then I guess make you try to be a slave, to where they could just beat you and rape you. And if you won't let them do it, then they be like, oh, see, that's why don't nobody want to help you. That's why don't nobody want you in their house, because I won't let you beat me, because I won't let you rape me. Then I sleep outside. And that's where I was. Because you ain't going to beat me, and you ain't going to rape me. And you ain't going to keep me from telling the truth about what happened and about what this is all about. This is because I shot a young white man that was abusing me and raping me and hurting my child, and I'm pregnant. And I'm angry at anybody who want to keep me from telling. Because I'm telling. There ain't no threatening to cut my tongue out. I'm telling. I'm telling. And I'm going to tell it all. And ain't no defaming you because I'm telling on you. I'm telling on you. You shouldn't have did it. And I ain't no